Cardano down around 40% in the last 6 days. Many ADA holders wondering, is the downtrend going to continue? What is up, everyone? Welcome to Crypto Capital Venture. Hit the subscribe and like on the way in. Let's jump into the Cardano video. A lot to go over. I'm going to start zoomed out. We're going to zoom all the way in on the hourly chart. This is the weekly. We're going to talk about it. Just a quick reminder. I tweeted this earlier. Entire crypto market cap, 1.59 trillion. Amazon market cap, 1.62 trillion. You are early. The reason why, and that's not financial advice. You can be in this game or you can be out of this game. That's up to you. But the reason why I tweeted that is it's just a perfect reflection of zooming out. Just look at this. Amazon alone is right now, this was actually earlier, but Amazon alone valued at more than the entire crypto market cap. So early in this emerging tech. The other thing I tweeted earlier, ADA ETH through all of this, and this was yesterday, through all of this on the daily chart is insightful. ERC20 converter and smart contracts incoming for ADA. And look at the chart. That's a daily chart. Here we can look at the weekly chart. I don't know when I did this. I was doing some falling wedge on the ADA ETH pair, probably on the short-term charts. And just look, in the last couple of weeks, this is a weekly chart. Cardano just making moves. Even in the current weekly, you see this upward pressure bouncing off the 20-week moving average. There could be so much upside right now. And the same is true on the ADA BTC pair. You have this higher highs, higher lows going on for months now, since January. And again, I revert back to this tweet, ERC20 converter, smart contracts, the completion of the Goguen era is pretty much upon us this summer in the months ahead. It's so bullish. It is the most bullish crypto in all of crypto land. So this is the weekly on Cardano. There's a couple things I want to talk about. Number one, we want to just kind of keep an eye on the fact that we had this nice bounce off the 20-week moving average. But the biggest thing, and this is really the biggest thing I'm watching, and now we're really getting close. 1 day, 3 hours, $1.50. I talked about this probably a couple of days ago. This more macro type of Fibonacci support, swing low on this weekly candle all the way back here in April. This is only a month ago. To swing high, our all-time high. And just this $1.50 area at the 618 on this Fibonacci support. We wicked below, obviously, on the weekly. I really would love to see if Cardano can make a close on the weekly candle above $1.50. That's like the biggest thing I'm watching right now, and we're 1 day and 3 hours away from finding out how the weekly candle is going to close. The other thing I wanted to discuss on this chart is this. If you zoom out, and this is just because there's so much bear market chatter. And I'll put it very simply. For all of you. This is the bear market. This is the bear market coming out of the swing high in January 2018 to the December swing low. Cardano down 98%. On this YouTube channel, the basis, the foundation of everything that I talk about, my approach to crypto, my approach to business, my approach to life is this. Expect nothing, anticipate everything. And on the anticipate everything spectrum, we always look for just ridiculous bullish upside. But at the same time, in planning our portfolio, we look at the most extreme case on both sides, which is also the bearish side. And this is the extreme case, take it or leave it. All-time high, swing high. If we get a repeat of 2018 into the bear market, 98% gives us around 5 cents, a 5-cent Cardano. It's a reality that all of us could live in one day. And that isn't me here, sitting here saying Cardano is going to 5 cents, we're entering a bear market. But I'm just saying, in this case of extreme contrast analysis, where you're combining and comparing the two extremes, extreme bullish, extreme bearish, this is extreme bearish. And with where your portfolio is now, with where you are right now, with everything you have going on in your life, financially and what have you, are you ready for a dip like that? I don't think that's coming. I really don't. But are you ready for it? That's something to always keep in mind. And I wanted to address that very briefly in the most simplest of terms, because there's a lot of bear market chatter. What would it look like? Just anticipate the worst. That's really the best thing you can do, and you'll make the best possible decisions for yourself. Now, on this weekly chart, though, I'm telling you, we talk about this weekly chart so often, and just Cardano right now going into smart contracts. I still think we're in the middle of this bull market in general, Bitcoin, Cardano, altcoins, and Cardano just potentially setting up for the most epic bull run like in its history. And so we have to keep that on mind on our mind in the weekly. And if we zoom in now on the daily, there's another thing I want to talk about, which is this: a potential bullish reversal coming very soon, potentially this week. And that is just because I'm using one indicator for this. So take it for what it's worth, right? Take this with a grain of salt. So swing low here on the stock RSI, this quicker moving momentum oscillator, you can see we're about to get this uptick potentially. And if we do, historically, I mean, on the short term, midterm, I guess you could say, every time we're getting this uptick, right, from here, we're seeing gains. So that gain right there, 140% gain from this swing low on the stock RSI. This momentum shift right here, this was, let me zoom out a little bit, 58%. Well, actually, let me see. So that was actually 47%. And then we have 58% was actually this one down here, the stock RSI, 58%. Let me delete that so we can clear this up. And then you go back to the next one, this swing low in the oversold on the stock RSI, that shift, that uptick, 95% gains. Let's get rid of that, clear this up. Here's a swing low, stock RSI. Took a little bit of consolidation, you can see on the screen, but either way, we're getting that consolidation around the 20-day moving average. Then we get that uptick out of that oversold area, 247%. Here's another one coming out of the oversold area, 191%. Here's another one right here out of oversold, still consolidation, 45%. We actually came back down into that oversold, right above the oversold, but we bounced out of that one. 116% coming out of this oversold. That was a bit of consolidation, and that was a long consolidation phase after Shelly hard fork here, all the way back in July. So you can do this over and over again. The point is, from this one oscillator alone, this one indicator alone, every time Cardano makes an upshift out of this oversold on the quicker moving momentum oscillator, we see some really nice gains. Most recently, the 140% gains from this swing low. And remember, we were dipping here, and this was a big drop. Cardano, $1.58 to, 89 cents or so, 40+% to the downside. So we experienced very similar fear back then before getting 140% gain. So I say that because you don't know what is coming next potentially. And it's a very, it's a very reliable indicator that suggests there could be a really bullish move in the coming days. Now, what I want to do though is I want to take that and I want to kind of test that theory a little bit. You can't just look at an indicator and be like, dude, I'm all in because of this stock RSI is oversold and we're getting ready to, see 50% plus gains. I want to go into an environment where we're in a bear environment, and I want to look at, well, what does the stock RSI do then? How does it interact, right? And so here we are. This is Cardano falling into the bear market in 2018, just into a downtrend. And look, we've been in the stock RSI. Look how Cardano hangs out down there, trying to escape the waters of oversold and failing. This is something that we want to watch for right now on the current stock RSI. This could be a bearish signal for us. And it's very soon to tell on the daily chart, but we want to see if Cardano does something like this. It's trying to recover. It's trying to, put in a swing high. And you can see these little bounces. Like there was a bounce out of the stock RSI briefly. But what happened here to note is it was a 70% bounce off that swing low out of the oversold, which is fine. But we saw resistance at the 20-day moving average. And we saw continued resistance on the way down at the 20-day moving average. It's a really good combination to look for as we're trying to identify bear versus bull, which is to say, what does oversold look like? How long on the quicker moving momentum oscillator, the stock RSI, how long are we hanging out down there? And are we seeing resistance at a 20-day moving average? That could be very symbolic and really reflective of bear market. I mean, here's another 87% bounce, but right into that was right into the 20-day moving average. So that's something to watch for. So if we go over now to the charts on the daily, go all the way back to where we are, you can see Cardano has an area of really solid confirmation for us. That is at 20-day moving average. In a bear market, we see resistance at that area, currently around $1.73. Now, what's interesting about that area is it is just, I mean, let me take our price range and see from where Cardano is right now, $1.73. We're looking at a 15% move for Cardano. And we're going to look at what that looks like on the 6 hour. But first, I want to start here. This is a clip from just 2 days ago. Check this out. And you have an area of support if the $1.50 fails, all the way down here, $1.34 to $1.18, $1.20 we can call it. So that's our support. I mean, we're still tracking that. So we're tracking a weekly close tomorrow above $1.50. We want to see that happen. But at the very least, we're tracking a very just important Fibonacci support. It's the swing low to swing high that we just had right there. That swing high to $1.90 something. And you can see from that video, we've come down and we've actually hit it and we've seen support. And it's exactly what we want to see. This support at the 618. We have support down to the 786 around $1.18, but we've seen support at a 618. We're allowing Cardano to take the time to consolidate between this swing high, this capitulation here, this swing high, now this swing low. We're allowing Cardano the time to consolidate in this area, and we have to continue tracking these areas. So right now it's that support down to $1.18. Ultimately, we want to see the weekly close above $1.50. Right now we're at $1.48, so it's really interesting to see how Cardano interacts with $1.50. Are we going to start seeing $1.50 as resistance? It's something I don't want to see on these charts, but what we want to see is this. We want to see Cardano break the $1.50, close tomorrow above $1.50, and then from this past swing high to now this new swing low at that Fibonacci support, we want to see Cardano break this Fibonacci resistance, $1.70 to the 786, $1.81. That's the huge resistance for Cardano right now. So boom, we want to see that move. If we go back to the daily chart, what did we just talk about? $1.72, $1.73 area is that 20-day moving average that we do not want to see resistance at, because that is kind of reflective of bear market type of scenario. So we really want to see Cardano get back above that 20-day moving average really on the short term. And it ties in perfectly with what we're seeing here on the Fibonacci short-term resistance. So confluent with this 6 hour resistance at the Fibonacci, $1.81 to $1.72, $1.73 is the 20-day moving average. So really interesting numbers right there. Going over here to the 6 hour chart, one thing I just really wanted to point out, look at this. I mean, we saw a 60% dip, but look, in the last couple of months, I mean, this is going back to February, right? So maybe a few months, 60% dip, 42% dip, 30% dip, 34% dip, 33% dip. We are just seeing dips like crazy. If you get rid of this wick, this crazy capitulation wick, we're more at an average of like a 45% dip right now, more average with all of these recent dips. So we could very much be in the middle of this bull market consolidating. But again, as always, we wait for confirmation. We wait to see Cardano make a move one way or another, and that is through upward resistance, bullish confirmations, or downward support. If we're breaking through that, and we're not seeing Cardano break that 20-day moving average that we just talked about, we're breaking through this type of support, that's bearish confirmation. So we track it and we wait, we see with patience. So I appreciate all of you cruising by. I really do. Thank you for just subscribing. If you're a subscriber, if you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe, hit the like on the way out. I'll see you all in the next video. God bless.